Costco reportedly is exploring mobile inventory search. According to Chain Store Age, Costco is beta testing a new tool on its mobile app that lets customers click a quote warehouse button located between the account and cart buttons at the bottom of the app to bring up a search bar. The search bar then enables customers to enter the names and or descriptions of items they plan to buy to see if they are in stock at a selected store. And would you recommend that Costco roll out mobile search functionality to all its users chain-wide?
I'm really conflicted on this, Chris,
Ooh,
because
so
I did try it last night because it works in our region. And it's really sweet because I shared it with my husband, who's my personal Costco shopper. And his biggest complaint and mine is when, I give him the list, I put it together, and we have a lot of repeat purchases. And when he comes home and he's like, they were out of it, or they don't have it anymore this week. Like they just stopped carrying it all of a sudden. And so for example, our liquid IV hydration packets, like there's a specific kind, we get it every week. And the last 2 weeks he's come home.
I'm very familiar. You put those in your water every plane trip we take.
I do. I like to stay hydrated. But if he can check now and he's going today, and we were able to see this morning, yes, they have those, you can pick them up, and that's driving him to go to Costco now because he knows that product is there, and I'm sure he's going to pick up a million other things that we didn't need while he was there. So I think that experience makes this great and will be really good for the consumer. However, I think this is still an issue that we're seeing at a lot of retailers where, consumers are coming in and they can sometimes have a better picture of inventory, or they in one app, they're able to see, yes, I have something. And if you can't pay that off, if you haven't invested in the infrastructure for your store associates to have the same view as your customer has, or for, that data to be accurate, I think this could be a big challenge and could end up disappointing a lot of consumers if they can't get it all talking to each other. So I'm kind of in the middle of this, but where do you fall?
You can't. So you can't be in the middle. You can't be in the middle of this one. I'm going to push you. Which way? You can't decide. You're like Switzerland on this. So net. Did you like the experience or not? Do you think it's a traffic driver to Costco?
I think it can be if they have all their ducks in a row, and that's what worries me about it. Is that I think it's very hard to have this data incredibly accurate and up to the minute.
This is interesting because I don't think I would recommend that Costco should do this.
Okay.
And I think there's two reasons. And the first one is less important than the second one. But the first one is that I think this is really hard to do well. I got in a debate with Mike Hogemiller on LinkedIn over the weekend about this because, depending on how many, Costco moves through a ton of units with a ton of people, especially on a weekend. So depending how many people are in Costco, you've got to have great accuracy on your items because you might have all your items sitting in people's carts as they're all waiting in line to check out, and your inventory system thinks those items are in the store. I'm at home. I'm going to plan my Costco trip 3 hours from now. I looked, you said it was there and it's not, and I go to the store and it's not there. So now there's ways mathematically to, mitigate that risk, so to speak. So I think you could potentially figure that out. But the second point that I think is even more concerning to me is something that you kind of alluded to this, which in terms of how your husband shops Costco. Your husband and most Costco shoppers love Costco, right? Yes. You and I don't like shopping there, but the people that like Costco love going there, and they're still going to go there, right? And so I feel like the risk here is that if I'm a Costco shopper and I go online and I see that something I want is not there, then I'm not going to make the trip. You're introducing a reason for me not to make the trip. And so, I think at the end of the day, Costco is a different beast than other retailers. And so my big takeaway, is that their omni-channel answers, the omni-channel answers for Costco may be different from others. So this is a capability that lots of retailers have, but I don't know that Costco needs it. Or said another way, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, is kind of what I'm saying here.
I think that you made some really great points, and I don't disagree with you, because I do think in the case of my hydration packets, then I have to go pick them up. Then we're completely aborting that mission. We're going to somewhere else because that's something that I have to get. We will still go to Costco for some other things. There's other components to that. I think you're right. People will still shop Costco, but You're right. I don't know that it's going to. I think there's still a risk.
It might delay your trip to Costco, though, right?
It might.
So then over a course of a year, you
Perhaps.
might have less trips to Costco, right?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. I think in the end, you really have to make sure that you can pay that off. And your point about how many people have stuff in their cart, especially during like high traffic times. I'm thinking like before the holidays or something, like where there's like people, 100 people waiting in line, and you want to get that same. Everybody's going to get the wrapping paper, that big gift for the holidays or something. I think that could pose some challenges. So we'll see. It's just a beta test.
2x4s at Home Depot don't move to the same degree that the hot buy at a Costco moves on a weekend. Is basically what I'm saying.
Correct.
And so it's harder to understand.